morning, everybody. Good morning. We're on Thursday?
We are Thursdays.
Thursday. Happy Thursday. Good morning, everyone. Great to see all of you here this morning with us. And I hope you're having you don't
Yes.
tell it's toward the end of the week. It's, I don't know, it's just things are a little easier at the beginning of the week sometimes. Yeah, we're always happy to come on. It keeps us accountable too. So that's one of the reasons we do this, is to help you create a foundation, but to also keep ourselves accountable in terms of keeping our health and our physical bodies. I don't know if we'd be working out at this time of the morning.
Every day this
Every
time
day.
of the morning? Probably not.
I probably would.
Yeah, you probably would. She's much more disciplined than I am.
So I've created what happens when you start doing this on a regular basis, you create a good habit. And it's like habits can form bad or good. And so when you start doing something repetitively for a period of time, it creates a habit. So working out is just part of my routine. It's part of my foundation of my day. So, but today I want to talk about patience. And, it's easy to lose your patience or to expect something more than what you're getting, and then you tend to lose your patience. And a lot of times it's because we're trying to control things that we can't control. Actually,
Unmet
that's
expectations.
Yeah, and we may do it with ourselves a lot. In terms of working out, I got a little impatient with myself this week because I couldn't do some moves like what David does. I like to try to keep up with him, but the truth is he's been doing this for a few years and I'm kind of a newbie. But I still really had to let go of the fact that I wanted to control my body the way I wanted to control it. And it wasn't going that way. So patience in letting the process unfold the way it's supposed to is probably one of the hardest things to do. Releasing the control, taking aligned action, but releasing the control of the outcome is one of the hardest things to do. Having patience that you're on the right path, that this is the right way to go, that all will be well and you'll come out the way that, or end up the way that you wanted to, with happiness, joy, passion, and purpose. But it's difficult, especially when there's lots of outside things going on, whether it be politics, whether it be finances, whether it be things happening in your family or relationships. But you just have to relinquish that control that you're trying to have over everything and everybody. Just surrender to it and be patient and allow the things to happen the way they're supposed to happen.
Yeah. It's funny too. It's like the last thing you want to do is pray for patience, because the way that you get patience is, like she said, to surrender. You have to be beaten so overwhelmingly bad that you say, fine, I give up. I'll let things go the way they're supposed to go. And that's a rough process to go through.
Well, and when you do that, when you surrender to that, you'll see you're less stressed.
Mm-hmm.
You can breathe easier. Worrying about it isn't going to change it.
Well, most things aren't in your control anyway.
Right. I mean, I'm not saying don't take aligned action towards your goals. What I'm saying is, if you're worrying and you're being impatient about the outcome of something, what does worrying do? It's only it's holding you back. It's getting you stressed out. It's getting you anxious. It's holding you back from the aligned action that you should be taking. You know what I mean? And you have to recognize that in your own bodies, though. A lot of times what happens is that overwhelm, that anxiousness, the worry comes on, and we don't even know we're doing it. We don't. You have to be cognizant of what your body is doing, what your emotions are doing, your emotional body is doing, so that you can change it or you can look at it differently when it comes on. some people just get used to being in that state of mind, that anxiousness, the worry, the this, the that, the control.
Let that shit go, man.
Let it go. Let it go.
Yeah.
Now, part of that we learned by doing kettlebell, believe it or not.
Yep.
It requires patience. It requires courage. It requires strength, ability, flexibility, dedication, persistence, and all of that. It requires all of that. And that is what you can use towards your life. So this isn't just about getting our muscles together and, cardio. It's teaching us some really important life skills.
Actually, it's funny that you say that, because we've been talking about this lately with regards to kettlebell. The success in being able to do kettlebell is to know which parts of your body have to be solidified and bracing, and which parts have to be released enough to move and open. Right? This is the basis of athletics, and it's a microcosm of the rest of your life. You have to know which things to hold on to and which things to let go of, and in which order, in order to succeed.
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is. Here we're gonna do. I'm super happy today because we got our Kangen water machine. We have a Kangen alkaline water machine, and we got it hooked back up and all ready to go and running. And for you athletes out there, or for people that are looking at their health, alkaline water. We have an opportunity for you if you are interested. Message us if you want to know more about it.
Kangen water. I mean, there's only a handful of things you need for health. Water is a big part of it. Quality of the water that you're drinking.
Sorry, I'm just trying to. Let me see. Board. What since I'm up there? All right, Sati, my sissy, Prem.
Prem, how are you?
What time is it? Prem, my friend Prem lives in Malaysia. I think Sati is in London, but I'm not sure. So let me know.
All right.
Prem comes to my yoga on Saturdays, and it's like 11 o'clock at night for her.
All right, folks, let's do this.
So we're just doing some hops here, just loosening up our body. You don't have to hop; you can just go like this. But when you're doing that, just drop your shoulders down.
Shake the muscles loose from the bone.
It feels great. If you guys haven't tried this, you need to get up and try this now. It feels so good. And drop down hands. So we're bending our legs slightly, coming down with our arms, letting our shoulders go. It's like flicking water off your hands. So if you've ever been in an airport or used the restroom at a store and they don't have any paper towels, this is what you do. And it feels so good. This is another, just warming up our body. You don't have to go really hard at it. We're just getting warmed up. Heart openers. As we open up our arms, we feel the gratitude for every single thing that we have in our life. The fact that we opened our eyes, the fact that we're here, being able to do this. And as we come around, we're tapping our bodies, waking ourselves up, getting our blood going. And just feel the gratitude for the sun coming up today. We have another whole day. New day, a new 24 hours. These are body twists, and as you come around, we're tapping the body again. It can be on your hips, it can be on your arms, your lower back. Just gets everything moving. It gives you a little bit of a torso twist as well. Shoulder rolls. Put your hands on the caps of your shoulders and all the way back, nice and big. You don't need to go fast. It's just a slow warm up here, just getting the synovial fluid going in our shoulders and the opposite direction. This feels good. The tops of my shoulders are, they're not sore, but it must have been something that we did yesterday.
Yeah.
Neck rolls. You just want to be gentle with your head rolls. It's getting the neck loosened back. I sleep on my side, so a lot of times my neck is stiff in the morning. And if you don't move these parts, you're not going to be able to move as you get older. That's just the way it goes. Turn right, turn left.
If you keep doing that, it'll stick that way.
Yeah, you know, our parents always said that, right? It's true. When it comes to our joints and mobility, it's true. Hip rotation, this is the move it or lose it move. That's what I like to call it. This always makes me giggle when I say that. But you're just drawing a circle on the floor with your hips, just getting some mobility. Oh, that feels good. And the opposite direction. Don't forget to get out in nature every day. That's what I try to do. These are knee rotation. Just around in a circle with your knees. You can incorporate your your ankles into this as well. I try to get out. I've been lately getting out every day, just feeling the call to get outside. And not for long, you know, an hour. Going for a nice walk.
Right.
Just getting out into nature.
Now, I want you to put your hands like this.
Okay.
And imagine like you're pedaling a bicycle with your hands.
Yep.
That's the motion.
Okay.
Get in a wide stance, put your hands on your hips. And now, same thing. Work the insides of the hips and backwards.
Yeah, it's pretty bad when David can move his hips better than I can.
That's actually, when it comes to moving your hips, isolating, you know.
I feel like I'm moving everything else.
It's
So
not,
my mouth is moving. Try that, you guys. See if you can do this without moving the rest of your body. You know, it's like
keep everything else still.
good Lord.
Okay.
It's like feeding a baby. You know how when you're feeding a baby and your mouth is moving, you're like,
okay. Kettlebell between your feet. All right. Are we ready?
I think so.
Okay. Put an equal distance between your feet. Hold at the windmill line, pushing your hips way back. Hands on the bell. Pull yourself down lower. Pull your butt as low as you go. Lift until your arms straighten. Continue to lift until the kettlebell comes off the ground.
So your hips are going back. Your knees are over your ankles. Shoulders are seated. You're squeezing your glutes as you're coming up. We're doing those.
Now don't let it bend you over. Stay straight. And squat. To the other side. And change hands. Bring it to the rack. Press it overhead. Straighten it out. Lock the arm. Balance it. Pull it. Swing. Rack. Press. One. Swing. Rack. Press. Two. Swing. Rack. Press. Three. Change. 2, 3, 4, Pull it in and set it down. Okay. So this next exercise that we're going to do is going to challenge your, not your ability, because you have the ability. It's going to change your understanding of what we mean by keep your back straight. So you're going to stay in a wide stance with your feet out at 45 degrees. You're going to sit back into your hips. Don't curl your back. Your back should be flat. Don't bend it, right? So you should be able to sit really low. Now, sit way down in your stance and shift over towards one leg. Don't bend your back at all. Now shift over towards the other leg. You're going to go directly, you're going to point your knee directly over the toe. Both directions. Now, to the middle. Sit down with one hand, pick up the kettlebell. I have it in my left hand, so I'm going to bend to my right. And I'm going to pass it underneath my leg. Around, pass it underneath the other leg. In a figure 8. At no point do you bend your back. So to get low enough.
One for this, just because I want to get the form
Yes.
right first.
To get low enough, you have to get nice and to do this correctly, you have to get nice and low. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Other direction.
Yeah.
Go with the same direction.
Okay, let's do slow here. So
Hold on, I'll put it in the other hand. Put it
Okay.
behind your leg and set it forward.
I like that direction.
One's gonna be easier than the other.
And that's what my
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Very nice.
I'm the trainee, so I get to say exactly what you feel like saying.
Well, any of these things are, when they're new, they're a little more difficult. So
I was just barely getting the one direction, never mind. Yeah.
Okay.
I had never done that one before.
Whew. Okay. So let's put our kettlebell next to our right foot and bend our feet, point our feet 45 degrees in the same direction. Hands on your hips. Now, think about closing the car door with your hip, right? Don't bend forward. Think hip back and keep going back until you can rest your elbow on your knee. Nice. Right there. Go a little further. Feel it in your back. Make sure your back leg is straight. Come on up. Now, hand on the inside of the thigh. Kick the hip back until you can grab the kettlebell. Make sure your back leg is straight. Now push the hip forward to stand. 2, 3, 4, 5. Set it down. Point your feet to the front. Slide it to the other leg. Point your feet the other way. Both hands on your hips. Think hip back. Push the hip back. Down until your elbow reaches your knee. Make sure you feel this in the back leg and up into the low back. That's where you're going to feel it as well. Hand on the inside of the thigh. Kick your hip back until you grasp the handle of the bell. Push the hip forward, pick it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set it down. Good. Okay. Turn around with your back to the camera for a moment, Miss Kendra. Put your arms up wide. Good. So, remove, a little one. In massage therapy, the arm is this all the way to here. So this whole side of the body, this is the musculature of the arm. This is the musculature of this arm. The leg starts up here, and this is the musculature of the leg. So it's essentially a big X. And you have to think of the whole back of your body. Okay, thank you. You have to think about the whole back of your body and the front. The chest muscles are part of the arm. They activate the arm. You see that? Mm-hmm. We aren't used to thinking of our chest and back as part of the arm, but they are. And where it ends, the muscles of the leg begin. This is,
I thought I was getting a massage there for a minute.
You might have. So when we do these exercises, we're using our legs, but it's all these muscles here in our back and butt that are activating it, right? Now we're going to do a high windmill, and we're going to activate the entire upper body. So take your thumb, put it in your armpit, grab the back wall. Now with the other hand, make a fist and tighten that muscle up. Feel it? That's what you need to tighten. So feet on either side of the bell, grab the handle, swing it to the rack. Press it overhead. Turn the feet 45 degrees, hand on the inside of the thigh. Now, fire the muscles in the lat. Sit down, elbow to the knee, and rise. Now, you can go elbow to the knee, or you can go as low as you want. But focus your eyes on the bell and your attention on the musculature of the arm all the way to the lat. All the way to the attachment of the lat, the iliac crest. Two more. Point the feet to the front. Pull it in. Change hands. Press. Point the feet away. Hand on the inside of the thigh. Grip the bell. Look at it. Kick the hip back. Lower until your elbow is to your knee. Now go elbow to the knee or lower. Crush the handle of the bell. Tighten the lat. One more. Pull it in.
That is a really difficult exercise for me, not because of my arms, it's my hips.
Mm-hmm.
I still,
Yep.
It's not easy for me with my.
When you run into the barriers, when you bump up against the limitation of an individual muscle or muscle chain, that's finding where you have to work.
This is where the patient comes in.
That's right.
People,
If you don't,
earlier.
if you don't feel it, then you have a real problem. Because then you can't fix it. If you never identify where your limitations are, you're not trying hard enough. Okay. Let's do some swings. So I would say grab your 12 kilograms. Yep. And we're going to do alternating single arm swings. So thumb is up at the top, thumb is back at the bottom. When I come up, Both thumbs are up so that I can change to the other hand. Thumb back at the bottom. Here we go. Reach back, grab the bell with one hand, come up, and we're going to swing. Here we go. Changing hands. And set it down. Now, we're going to bring our attention out to that changing of position with your hands. And we're going to challenge it a little bit more. And the way we're going to do that is this. I'm going to come up a little closer so you can see. So watch the kettlebell, Kendra. Instead of just coming up and changing, I'm going to do a little half twist on it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I don't understand.
Well, that's fine. Do it the way we were doing it, but look for it. Look to see where you would do it.
Right.
And when you're comfortable, give it a try. Okay, here we go. Feet wide. Grab the bell. We'll start with our left hand. Sit back and switch.
Because I'm just concentrating. I don't do singles very often, so I'm just concentrating.
Good.
Which is pushing from my hips or my core.
10 more. 1, 2. Set it down.
Yeah, I couldn't break my
That's okay.
concentration to try something new on that because I don't do singles very often. So I was just trying to make sure my form on that was correct.
That's fine.
But maybe
That's
down
fine.
the road I can add that.
Absolutely.
Hey, Bubsy, you want to come say hi? Come here. Bubs.
Christopher, take care of your ex.
Yeah, take care of your ex for sure. And this will strengthen your ex.
It will.
So that you don't get injured when you're doing everyday things like building a tiny home.
That exercise, the bent press, is at first you're like, this is weird. I would never move like that. I don't understand. The reason why you would never move like that is because you don't understand. That's the point. I've only encountered a couple of people who got this move without doing kettlebell. One of them is your soul ball, Tim, in California.
Oh.
Really big, tall guy. He's a farmer.
Yeah, he takes
right?
That.
When he's planting and working on the ground, he's like this.
Yeah.
And if you look at pictures of like peasant farmers in China or wherever, where they're working all day long, every day.
I mean, even just anybody.
Most regular farmers today are using heavy-duty machinery.
Right, but I'm just saying small farmers like Tim.
Absolutely.
Not everybody uses the correct, and he's got the nice straight back.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't curve his back.
That's right. If you bend your back when you work, eventually you're going to walk around like this. Yeah. And how many old people have you seen sleep fluids and everything has to flow? As soon as you tighten down on the musculature, you're restricting the flow. Don't restrict your flow.
Don't restrict your flow.
Don't restrict your flow.
Hey, that's the saying of the day. Don't restrict your flow.
Okay.
Right, what do we want
We're going to do some snatches. We're out of time. We're going to do heavy swings. Grab a heavy kettlebell for 50 swings.
Here we go. 1, 2. It's 30. Ten more.
Ooh, that was hard.
Nicely done.
Hallelujah, galore. Thank you so much for joining me today. Sending all of you love, joy, peace, and happiness, and some special healing energies to those of you who may be suffering. I'm just trying to get my. Whew.
One.
It's amazing how that works your cardio
It's nothing like it.
in a very short period of time. Look how quick that took us. And so it's high energy, high volume in a short amount of time. Whew. Anyway, hope you all have a great Thursday. Thank you so much for joining us today. We will see you here tomorrow morning, Friday morning, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So happy to have you here. I love you. Keep doing what you're doing. Everybody on here are amazing. I follow them. I follow all of you on Facebook, and you're all doing amazing things. And I love this job. So keep doing what you're doing. Love you all. We'll see you tomorrow morning.